What is up, everyone? Back again for another week. We're 3 on the trot. So I'll just go over the game quickly because it was a bit of an almost, I don't want to say a nothing game, but felt more like a Sunday scrimmage. Because they were missing a few players. They were missing Bailey and Harper, who were big integral parts of their team, some big scorers and all that. So we ended up going, I think we won by 10, 12 points in the end. I could be misremembering, but we played well, but with the two superstars out from that team, we sort of probably just chilled off a bit, tried to get a bit too fancy with a few of the passes, overpassed, didn't look for the shots as strongly as we should, so we sort of didn't finish like we should. Defense was good though. We still played very good defense. We made them do 10 passes before they could get a shot off, if that. They would still have to keep passing. Definitely made it tough for them to get shots up, let alone get them in. But yeah, it just wasn't. It was a fun game. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it wasn't like a high intense sort of game. We just sort of chilled through and went through it, had a bit of a laugh and like with each other. Personally, I was back in the scoring trend. I scored 14 in the end. It was a funny game. It was a game I felt like I probably got 6 points, maybe 8 points. It wasn't until after the game that Hutto was going through the box scores and he's like, "Oh, you got 14." I was like, "Oh, well, there you go." And I had to try and think back and remember. So good thing I've got the footage of the game to help go through and refresh the memory on what points I scored. It's funny, I was the only one, I think, from our team that hit a throw. Maybe Kobe got a 3. Yeah, I think Kobe got at least 1 3. So him and me were the only two that could knock him down from long range. But we just sort of went to work inside and tore him apart with passing. Again, on my own personal game, I wasn't too happy with my passing, too many turnovers, sort of rushed it a few, didn't quite get the angle I wanted, but work on that seems to be the way. Either I have a real good passing game and a bad shooting game, or I have a really bad shooting game and have a good passing game, or vice versa. I can't remember if I said the same thing there. Defense. Yeah, again, they were a bit younger and all that, so it was a bit hard to have too much of an impact. They stayed out on the perimeter a lot more, didn't come inside down low too much, so I don't think I really got any blocks or steals. I rebounded okay, but wasn't probably as active and impactful on the rebounds as I was last week, but still took control when the ball came my side and all that. But again, with who we were facing, it was sort of like, just getting through and doing what you can do. Body felt good after it. Lower back was a bit sore during the week, but otherwise feeling good. And now let's try and retool and try and go against Krakens this week. Get 4 on the trot. Should be a good matchup again, hopefully. But yeah, see if we can get that 4th in the thing. So that's sort of all. I'll go over the game. We'll go in the highlights and all that. But before we do that, I thought I would change it up a little bit. Obviously, new environment you haven't seen. This is the kitchen. I get asked quite a bit, as I'm known for being the guy in the gym, working out a lot and all that. I get asked about what supplements I take, if I take any, and all that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd just do a quick go through. I won't go too in depth on what, but I'll just sort of show people what I take and sort of when I take it, because I probably got more of a liquid diet these days than an actual solid food diet, because I sort of drink that much stuff. I've probably cut back a few things. I was incorporating a glass of orange juice every day. Now it's just probably most days. Usually I only have the orange juice if I have an early morning start for work, have it with my breakfast. Orange juice gives you that good vitamin C, just helps fight off any colds and flus and sickness type of thing. And I felt like last year when I was having that 1 glass of orange juice every day, even late at night, I'd make sure I get at least 1 glass in. I was probably the healthiest I've been probably since COVID, really. But I think a part of that's just from COVID. Everyone's immune system sort of dropped down from lockdowns and not interacting and all that. So we're building the immune system back up. But yeah, the orange juice definitely helped with that. I was also taking a fat burner. I know what you're saying. Why am I taking a fat burner? It was just, I've recommended it to a friend, so I thought if I'm going to recommend it to a friend or suggest maybe he try it, I should probably try it too. But as well, it did claim to help with mental focus and just energy throughout the day, which I do tend to struggle with energy quite often, being the amount I work out, the amount of basketball I play, an active work where I'm on my feet pretty much the entire shift, if not running around, playing sport as well for that job. And then just also late nights and not getting great sleep all the time as well. So I was taking that, but I've cut that out now. It's just getting too much adding that in because with all the other stuff I take. So I've cut that out. It probably didn't really have the benefits I was looking for, but still, if you're looking to cut a bit of weight in that, it's be good for that to help sustain that. Sort of cuts down the appetite a little bit. Makes it not quite as peckish in that for those little snacks, but yeah, I've cut it out in my one. So with that being said, the two things, so orange juice still in there, but it's not every day, and the fat burner thing I've cut out, but yeah, if you're looking for a bit of weight loss, no harm in giving it a try. So we'll get started on the stuff that I do take now. So the first thing we'll go with, this is the first thing I'll have pretty much every day unless I'm super rushed for time and I don't feel like downing a glass of orange juice and a glass of water, is Nature's Own magnesium. So it's just a little tablet, you pop it in the glass of water and you down that. I like to do it first thing before I've got any food and all that. This way it's the first thing my stomach gets metabolism working and absorbs a lot quicker. I've got magnesium plus energy one here at the moment. I have at times done the magnesium plus sleep. Again, I don't know whether the sleep really gives you the benefits. I don't feel like my sleep was, at least it wasn't noticeably better using the sleep one. And this one being energy, who knows whether it actually does give the extra energy. It's probably just a little bit of caffeine or something that kicks in. I should probably actually read the ingredients. But the main thing is just that magnesium. It's sort of an underutilized tool that helps with a lot of muscle recovery, helps a bit with the energy as well, just making you feel better. A lot of people are quite deficient in their magnesium intake. So I'm trying to make sure I have that every morning, or at least if you know me, I wake up more afternoon, sort of lunchtime. But it's always the first thing I'll have. I'll down that before I even have breakfast or lunch or any sort of food and all that. If I have it with breakfast, I'll still have the orange juice with my breakfast, but I'll have that first, then get on the orange juice and the toast. So yeah, that's how I start my day. Then the next supplement sort of thing I would take is my, good hands back way, my Musashi pre-workout. I go the purple grape flavour. There is an apple one, but apple never appeals to me. I think there is a tropical flavour as well. It's not too bad. But yeah, purple grape is my preference with the pre-workout. Try and have that before every workout. You shouldn't, I don't believe you should have pre-workout as a necessity, but I've fallen into the trap myself of always having it before a workout, just to give that a little bit of a kick. As I mentioned before, I do tend to feel a bit tired during the day, always on the move and being active, and a lot of the time I'm actually having to go through a full day of being active on the feet at work, having a basketball training or playing basketball or playing some form of sport against the school kids at work, teaching them stuff. So I'm not getting to my workout until about 9:30 at night. And especially now in winter when it's freezing cold, you're sort of exhausted on the couch sitting there and you're not too motivated or willing to get across there. So I'll just have that drink just to give a little bit of energy. It's not one that's got you, you're not shaking, you're not all amped up and hyped up and all that. But it does, I do feel it does sort of give me a bit of a boost in the energy department, which would just be the excessive caffeine. That would be helping out with that. So that's my pre-workout. So I'll have that before my workout. And then immediately after my workout, currently, I get this big boy out. Big, what is it? Evolve protein mix. I've gone the milk chocolate flavour. And then with that as well, I'll combine some creatine. Creatine, they say, is the wonder supplement. It's the number one that everyone sort of recommends, says that you should have if you're going to take only one supplement. Creatine's the one to go. It doesn't really have any side effects and all that, but it really helps muscle recovery, muscle growth, energy recovery, everything sort of. So as I said, normally I'll chuck that in. I'll put it in one one of my shakers. I've got a good old Spider-Man one, the greatest superhero of all time, and I've got an Incredible Hulk one there as well that I sort of go between, depending on which one's clean, which one's been washed. But yeah, so I fill that up with milk, unless I've had to sort of force a workout in close to close to dinner, because this one's quite a heavy. What is it? I should know what I'm actually intaking, but it's hard to forget. How many calories is it? So it's 1,300 calories per serve. So it's quite a lot to take in. So sometimes I'll mix it up with water, just so the water's not quite as heavy and sitting in the stomach. Or if it's close to a game as well, if I've put a workout in before a game of basketball and I don't want it sitting in my guts too much, I'll usually take it with milk, but the milk can sit there and get a bit heavy, make you a bit full, so I'll mix it up with water. But yeah, generally milk, I'll chuck in 2 scoops of the Evolve, and then I'll chuck in about 3 to 4 teaspoons, not even teaspoons, just a little spoon. I don't know what spoon is it. So just a little green spoon there, just get 3 scoops in, maybe 4 if I'm feeling generous for myself, feeling like treating myself. Of that in there as well, give it a good shake and down that. So I have 1 per day after a workout. But my usual, so that's a new one. That's a new protein shake. I just want to mix it up, change something different. But now this big boy is the one I normally take, the Serious Mass from Optimum Nutrition. It's, what's that? 1,200 calories per serve, 50 grams of protein, 253 carbs. That's the one that got me up from about the 86 kilos, 87 kilos plateau, and I've moved me up to about 92, 93. I think I even hit 94 there at one point, getting big boy numbers. Haven't weighed myself for a bit, but with the change in training, I'm suspecting I've probably lost a few kilos, but still keeping these in. It's getting that food, the carbs in, getting the calories in, keeping me nice and big still while getting more athletic and more moving. But yeah, so I'll try and have that. If I don't have a workout, I don't always have a protein shake on that day. I might have a day off from it, but I do now try and still have a protein shake on a day off from workouts, just because it's still good for the recovery of the muscles and still feeding the muscles in and keeping that weight on. So I try and have it, but sometimes it's just a bit too much effort, especially, as I said, freezing cold at the moment. You kind of just want to stay in a nice warm room, not walk up into the kitchen with the tiles and the freezing and all that. But so yeah, that's sort of all the supplements I take, other than water, and I've got a bit of a Powerade protein, Powerade powder. That's the P word I'm thinking of. Powerade powder. I sometimes just chuck that in to my water for my sport and all that, just to get a few extra carbs in, all that, just to go get all the calories in as you can, keep the body nice and full. But yeah, so magnesium first thing, followed up by the pre-workout, which is usually mid-afternoon. I try and have my workouts, but busy days it can be late at night, so that can be tricky as well. So is it too close to bedtime, be taking a pre-workout? Am I going to have time to sort of burn it off and all that, which is probably why I've had quite terrible sleeps a lot lately, like workouts with a pre-workout. And then the protein shake is Optimum Nutrition creatine at the moment, the Evolve milk chocolate powder, but usually it's Optimum Serious Mass. What flavour? Banana flavour is the one I've got there. They've got a strawberry one that goes alright too. I actually don't know if I've tried their chocolate flavour. I assume it's just like every other chocolate flavour. But yeah, definitely gone the banana, definitely gone the strawberry. Both recommended, very tasty. And that's the thing, they're very drinkable, which is always good. And that's it really. Like, yeah, nothing too special, nothing too flashy, just sort of basic stuff to get the job done. And that about wraps it up. So we'll go into the highlights from the game last week against Mismatched, the Wednesday league game. You'll see some footage of a shoot around I did, which really made me realise I do need to tape up my right Achilles. It's got a bit of a strain, and if I don't tape it up, it actually starts to get a bit sore, which I don't want to risk going too hard. So you might see a bit of hobbling there if I'm chasing after the ball, but I don't think it was too bad. Thursday was the shoot around, but got the Dr. Dish machine out. Pretty much the only one in the association who knows how to use it, and pretty much the only one who does use it, especially more than once. So that just allows me to stay on the spot, get a lot of shots up without having to chase after it and rebound too much, which if I actually start putting them in, I might not have to. So there was that, and then that's probably it for the video this week. No other footage. I've decided not to put any of the Sunday scrimmage in because there was literally no highlights from it. It was quite a terrible game. Apparently we can't have 2 good weeks in a row. But yeah, it's just sort of a bit of an issue. The game wasn't great quality. And yeah, we sort of ran away with it. And yeah, it's not really worth watching in my opinion. So enjoy the footage of the Wednesday game against Mismatch. Shoot around. Let me know how much I suck and all that in the comments. Let me know if you have any recommendations on protein shakes or any thoughts on that sort of stuff. I'm thinking I might try a new pre-workout. I've got to decide if I'm going to actually bother ordering or just go stick with the same old. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the rest of the video and the highlights and the shoot around. And yeah, we'll catch you next week, hopefully on a 4 trot. All right, back way out.
Nice go. Pull up, pull up. What are you doing, Haro? Play for percentage, Haro. Thanks, score bench. Thanks, Kelly. Go.
Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a dim. How you hate and then lose again? How you hating my vibes? Why you wasting my time? Getting hype on my line. Tell a man I don't want feedback, I just want relax. Brand new whip, two-tone, I need that brand new hit. You know, like lean back, brand new bits I live in. We back, man, you never gon' like us. Get them on sight now, let them on light. That way they know I'm more righteous. Look at my life, I'm living alright. I'm nice, you know I'm alright. Cause looking like Christ, no need for the hype or fight or telephone vipers. No need for the telephone vipers. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence, watch it. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence. Yeah, me, I'm moving quiet. Ask me, I'm leading an island. New watches, perfect timing. No need for the surface shining. Ask me, I need me a few. I need me an island. I'm keeping it true. The man, I'm a wild, I'm keeping it cool. No need for the telephone hype from you. Yeah, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah.